Okay, well, I'll do a little intro, and then we'll just get right into the interview then.
Okay.
All right, Metalheads, this is DJ REM from Metalhead Radio, and I have Marco from the band Innerload on the line. How are you today, sir?
Oh, very fine, thanks. Very happy to be here with you.
Me as well. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. When SG Records sent me a couple of your tracks to listen to, I was totally hooked. So
that's very good.
Very cool.
I believe that they are very interesting tracks, but I really appreciate that you like them. So, and I really hope that other guys can hear them and can appreciate them. That's the main thing. That's why I thank you for this opportunity of being here with you.
Yeah, no problem. I've played the tracks a few times on my show, and I've gotten great feedback on them. So my listeners dig you.
Very good.
So okay, so you guys are from Italy, correct?
Yep.
And how long have you been a band together?
Okay, it's a quite longer story because the band it has been formed in 2009, but all of us we were playing in different bands before, and we were playing almost the same kind of music like Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and stuff like that, but we were just playing covers. And the earlier name of the band was Pulsar, and in the same band there were me and singing, and Alex playing bass, and Musa playing drums. And then we just decided to change both the guitar players and to change our, let's say, project, because we didn't want anymore to play covers. So we decided to start with our project and to play our own music. And that was a very good point because Ray, that's the guitar player, the first guitar player, joined us and brought with him a lot of energy. He's quite younger than us, and this means fresh energy and good ideas for new music. And then in 2010, also Joe joined us with the second guitar. And so this is quite brief story of the group. But so the group the band is quite young, but we've been playing music, I think, for 15 years.
Oh, very good. Lots of experience.
That's it.
So, how did you guys pick the name for the band? How did you pick Innerload for the name?
I think that all of us had the same idea that we felt a kind of energy, and that something that we wanted to communicate and to push it out, to communicate that to other guys. I don't want to say positive, negative, just energy. And the kind of music we love and we play is just energy. So the main point is that it's a kind of load that we have inside. I don't want to say once again if it's positive or negative, but we want to throw it out and communicate it to other guys. And I think that this is the main point of our project, of the Innerload project. So that's where the name came from, Innerload. That's it.
Yeah, excellent. So how often do you guys all get together and practice and stuff? How often are you able to do that?
Okay, it's a quite hard job because all of us are working with different jobs, but we try to be quite constant and play twice a week and to meet twice a week. One day generally we work on live performances, so we decide which is the song list that we're gonna play, or what kind of things we're gonna say or do while playing live. And the other day we work on new tracks, new songs, and we almost have something like 6 more titles. But okay, that will come in the next future. Now we have to work on the recent work, that's React album.
So is the album complete yet, or is it still a work in progress?
No, I think it began quite. It was not something we decided to have a full-length album and to complete it but it's some way it is okay for us, and this is our first step. This is the first album, the debut album, so it is also a way to understand how everything works in this kind of, let's say, job that is in music, and we have to learn a lot of things. We learned a lot of things, and now we are trying to work on new tracks, new songs, keeping in mind the feedback we are having. And I think it will be a different album, a new album. So we think that React is okay, because that's exactly what we felt in the last couple of years, and that's the music that better express what we think and what we feel.
So, how many tracks are on that? Because I only have 2 tracks from it.
Oh, the track is 6 tracks.
Okay.
It has 6 tracks and 1 intro, but it's just to say it's not an EP, and so to have the 7th one. And the main point is that they are very long tracks, and I mean, I think the average it's 5 or 6 minutes each. And this point has been, we have different feedback on that, and someone says that they are too long, but I always say that this is what we felt. It was the right thing to play. This is the music we had inside, and as I told you, from our name is Innerload, so we had to push it out. And so this is the first step. We will take care of all suggestions, but we are very proud of the work we did, and we really love the songs we made. So if they're long, okay, you should be patient and listen them, listen to them. That's all.
Well, the tracks I've listened to really shred, so I could sit and listen all day. So long tracks don't bother me.
Yeah, great. But also, I always sometimes say that there are very famous groups that made very long songs. So, okay, that's because it's the first album. So, and someone has to say something wrong or something right, but it's okay for us. We are convinced on what we do, and I think that this is the most important thing.
Right, and definitely you have to do what you want and what,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the songs have to be what's from your heart and what makes you happy, and not worry about what other people really think, I guess.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. Also, because there are a lot of rules, commercial rules, and I mean, I hope we will have time to follow them. But at least the first album, let's play what we want and what we like.
Yeah, the longer you can do what you want, the better off you'll be.
Yeah.
So, okay, the album cover is really cool. Who designed that? Who came up with the design for that?
It's a kind of mixture of ideas. I mean, it's the first thing. It comes from the name of the band, that is Innerload. So we had to express something that comes from inside and explodes some kind of energy. And probably a lot of beers helped us to be creative. And then so we just drew in a sheet of paper, and then we gave this idea to a graphic designer, and he worked on it. His name is Davide Magoga, and we are very happy with that image, because I think it expresses what we think. And maybe also the other thing is that the earlier name of the band was Pulsar. That's a kind of star, and some way that is the star that's behind the metal material, and that explodes and becomes Innerload. So there are many ways of explaining that cover, but I hope it communicates what we think.
Yeah, well, and that's neat. I appreciate it when bands put some thought and effort into their cover art and don't just put a picture of themselves on the cover.
Yeah,
it
would be much easier, but I mean, it does not. Maybe it does not communicate anything, or it's just an image. And we wanted to also, from the graphic point of view, to communicate something.
Yeah, very cool. So, with your music itself, is there any kind of, are you guys trying to send a message with your music, or is it just metal?
Well, no, you're right. I really appreciate these songs, because this question, sorry, because I mean, we play a kind of music that's quite similar to the one that comes from the golden age of metal, that's in the 80s and early 90s. I mean, we've been growing with Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Poison, groups like that. And so, I mean, some way we have this kind of music in our blood, in our soul, and someone says that it's similar, but um, it's a different time. And so in the 80s everything was quite happy, quite easy. I don't want to tell you that, I mean, outside there's economical situation that's not the same as 20 years ago. But everyone is saying that's bad, that's someone else's fault, and we want to say just stop and use our brain, just think and say what we like, what we don't like, and if this word is the right one or the best one, I don't know, but I want to say what I think. So I think that the main point from the main difference is that we want to say something. I don't want to say serious, but just what we think. Just it's very important that everyone says something he thinks, not to accept everything that comes and just say and just don't care about that, because everything will not go better than this in this way. So this is, I mean, this is also the reason why the name of the album is React. That's it.
Okay, very cool. I appreciate that. Where one last thing about the album specifically, where'd you guys record it at?
We've been recording it at Majestic Studios, that is with Marino De Angeli, quite near to Venice, and he's no more there. He's joining you in US. He's now working in LA. I don't know where, but I think it's a good thing because he's a very good guy, and I think he was very good in understanding the idea that's behind, and giving all the energy that we wanted to communicate. And I hope that it comes out from the album. And I will always thank Marino for the job he did.
Are you going to? So for future recordings, you think you'll follow him to LA?
It would be great. We could join him, and
right?
I think it would also be interesting and useful because of different environments. And there are a lot of groups that I always say that. For example, there's Lacuna Coil that you probably know. That's
yes.
an Italian metal group that was quite good. But once they came in the US, they did a very good explosion. And probably it started also from the recording studios. And I mean, US for us, it's it's the paradise for our kind of music. So I hope maybe we'll join you.
That would be very cool. So what got you into music originally? What made you want to do this?
What? Sorry, I didn't get the question. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So at what point in your life did you decide, hey, I want to play music and I want to do metal? Yeah. And what was the factors that kind of led to that for you?
I mean, if I well understand, okay, the point is that we are looking for opportunities to play our music, and it's not quite easy in Italy. The scenario in Italy is quite, I don't know the one in the US, but I think it's quite different. In Italy, there's a lot of space and time for cover bands playing the music of other groups, of tribute bands, but it's very, very hard to play your own music. And if you play metal and hard rock or stuff like that, it's very, very difficult. So we are trying to find the opportunities. We're gonna play 26th of January in Padova, and I think the 4th of February in Bologna. So, and this is also quite important for us because we are going out the local environment near Venice, Padova. It's quite close to the place where we are. We are going to Bologna. That's some way a national place. So it's quite important, and we are working hard on that. But it's much more difficult to find opportunities and gigs and than recording the album.
Right.
But it will happen, I hope.
Excellent. So what bands were in, maybe you've already kind of touched on this, but what bands were your influences growing up that made you want to do this?
What other bands we like, sorry?
Yeah, I mean, when you were younger and just listening to music, what kind of music made you to say, hey, you know what? I want to be in a metal. I want to be in a
Oh
band.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I got it. I think that if you made this question to each one of the group, you may have different answers because everyone has his own preferred group, top group. But I think that Metallica is probably the name of that made the our change, and I think that also Guns N' Roses. For me, it was Guns N' Roses probably, because I never heard to hard rock and heavy metal before, and once still remember Justice for All of Metallica. It was very good for me, or Appetite for Destruction and of Guns N' Roses. It was the last 80s and early 90s, and I think that this is the music that made us change. And then it's quite like you open a door and then you find a new world with a lot of interesting music.
Right, definitely.
And we still now listen to that kind of music. I've been listening to. I like going to concerts, and I've been listening here in Italy to Cinderella, Joe Satriani, Whitesnake, Skid Row, Mr. Big. I mean, all groups of the 80s, 90s, let's say.
Right, and for me, SG Records sends me, a lot of European and bands from your part of the world, and the metal and the music coming out of Europe and that area, just in general, is like my favorite kind of metal right now. I just dig it so much.
Yeah, maybe I know that north of Europe it's quite famous for, metal, but there's somewhere all around in Europe. You got different kind of metal, but we love it. I'm happy that you love European metal music, because we have been growing with the opposite. We loved and we still love U.S. Heavy metal, but that's good because we can find differences and influences in each other.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love American metal too,
Yeah.
but it's a different sound that comes from Europe. It's just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
completely different
yeah.
sound.
That's true. That's true.
A lot
But I
more.
always say that we have to listen to both and to
Yep.
different kind of music, because that gives you new ideas, new energy, and that's very important.
Oh, definitely. The wider range of taste you have, the better off I think you are as a music fan or a artist.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think of the whole recording industry these days? Obviously, there's a lot more things that you can do with social networking and things that you ever could do in the past. So, what do you think of just all the changes that have been happening?
Oh, they're dramatically big changes, because we have been talking the last 10 minutes of bands that uh, grew in in completely different musical environment and business environment, because at the end it's a matter of business. And I think that 20 years ago, if a producer understood or thought that this band was good and invested some money and followed the group in promoting that, nowadays it's quite difficult. I think you know that all music industry is in very big difficulty, and you have to do. You can do much more things on your own. You can record a song quite easily on your own. But it's a matter of quality. I think that if you want the quality, you can do it completely on your own. You at least you need the suggestions of a producer. You need the suggestions of a studio recording expert, and so it's very hard now. I think maybe it's easier to record something and something also good, but at the end you have to go on with a different approach. You mentioned social networks, and it's a completely different marketing model, and so that's why we are working hard on Facebook, our website, and trying to promote our music. It's very different from 10, 15 years ago. Maybe you agree with me.
I totally agree, and The one, just the last thing I wanted to add to that was, just like you guys, a lot of other bands that I talk to. I mean, it you guys do this, and you for the love of the music, and yet you're
Yeah.
still working a job, and I just hats off to being able to do everything, because that's a lot on your plate.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I mean, I will never thank enough SG Records because they really gave us the opportunity. So I want to underline that because it's very important. But on the other side, we understand that it's very different from 10 years ago. I mean, at least in Italy, you can't think of living with your own music. I mean, at the beginning, it's quite impossible. You have your own job, and then you have your passion, that's music. You have to put a lot of energy to develop that project. But we believe in that, and as I told you before, we don't want to say that everything is wrong and full stop. Okay, there's something that's not working. It's not probably the ideal environment, but we want to say, okay, that's not perfect, but we can go on, and we did our project. We recorded our album, and we are very, very proud and happy of that. The next future, we will see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. So.
Thank you so much.
So okay. So back to the current album. Where can people buy it if they want to buy it?
Okay, yeah, I really hope they can do it. They want to do it. Obviously, they can buy it from the SG Records website. That's www.sgrecords.it, or on iTunes. That's quite common and easy to be reached. We are also working with Nuclear Blast in Germany and Twilight Distribution. And I mean, if you just put on Google Innerload, you can find a lot of
Right.
places where you can buy that.
And can they buy merchandise at some of them places too?
Not yet. We are working on that now.
Okay.
In this month, we are working on that. We are just concentrating on the promotion of the album now, and I think that for the next concert, we will have something, T-shirts and stuff like that, and we will put also them on our website.
Right.
You can buy.
I just see from talking to bands, it seems like when you sell merchandise at your shows, it seems like be one of the major places that you're able to actually make some money off things.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yes, exactly. I think that the most thing that changed in the musical environment is this, that there's no money on recording and selling music. It's on live entertainments and merchandising, stuff like that. So that's why I was saying this, that you can easily record an album, you can some way promote it, but the point is that it's very hard to find opportunities for gigs. That's where the money is.
Right, exactly.
So, but I mean, I want to be positive, and we just had a couple of gigs in the next month, so it's important. It's going in the right way.
Right, and I've had several artists also tell me, if the only thing you're in this for is money, you might as well just pack it up and go home right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that we don't have to think that music is a way to earn money. I mean, at least at this point of our life and of our career, if we can call it this way, we just want to play the music we love and to communicate that to the listener. And I mean, if money will come, we will be very, very happy of that. But that's not the main point. And I think that this is the thing that comes out from our music. That is some way pure energy, not commercial stuff. And so I believe that it's good for us.
Right. What do you have a favorite song to play live?
Oh, this is another question that if you ask it to different members of the band, you will have different answers, obviously.
Right, exactly.
But I think that the two that also had very good feedback are Dancing Queen, because it creates a very interesting atmosphere, and the other one is The Wizard, because it's quite easy to understand, and it has catchy refrains. So sometimes it happens that we start playing that, and the final refrain we got someone that's singing with us, and it's very good for us. It's a very good feedback. So, and if you have some feedback from the people listening, you play with more energy and it gets better.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like when I'm doing a radio show, when I'm actually getting feedback from the listeners, it definitely pumps me up.
I mean, there's some time when you play in some place with few people, you can't keep the same energy. If you got, or maybe you got just 5 guys, but they're singing with you, then you will push, and will give a lot of energy, and everything will be better. And I suppose that in the radio it's just the same.
Yep. Whether it's one person or 1,000, if they're into it, then you can feed off it.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else you would like to tell the Metalhead Radio family and listeners about you guys? Why they should listen to your music? Why they should buy it? I
mean, just you have to buy that and listen to our music, because it's we believe that's a very good work and they're very good songs. Because they are communicating pure energy. That's I want to underline that, and I really hope that this comes to the listener too. And the other thing is that we don't want to make a commercial stuff, but just play the music we love. And I think that at the end, this will give a positive energy to the songs and tracks. So I'm sure that they will like it.
Okay, and after I play this interview back, I'll be playing your songs too, so they'll get a good taste.
Very good.
Very definitely. Wait, one last thing to ask. I would love it if you could make a couple of radio tags for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, maybe you Lorenzo from SD Record asked us. Maybe you're asking for that. Or,
well, this is what I'd like you to do. If you could just on air, because this is just all recording right now, say this is Marco from Innerload, and you're listening to DJ REM at metalheadradio.com.
Yes, just wait a second.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm just taking a note. And you're listening
to DJ REM.
Yeah.
At metalheadradio.com.
Okay.
And I'm ready when you are.
Yes, here I am. Thanks to metalheadradio.com. This is Marco. Sorry. Let's try.
That's okay.
Take it again. Thanks to metalheadradio.com. This is Marco from Innerload, and you're listening to DJ RAM at metalheadradio.com.
That was perfect, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry for the first.
No, that's
the first one.
I swear, one of these days I have bloopers from like everybody I've interviewed. I could make a whole blooper session. So okay, I'm gonna one more.
Yeah.
This time, just say, this is Marco from Innerload, and you're listening to metalheadradio.com.
Okay. Hi, this is Marco from Innerload, and you're listening to metalheadradio.com.
Excellent, dude. Excellent. Appreciate it. That one I'll cut out and I'll send it to the DJs. So.
Very good.
Okay, well, thanks again for taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate it a bunch.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity, and hope to keep in touch and hear our music on your radio.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, hey, the other thing I was going to tell you, I posted the flyer for the replay of the interview on your Facebook page. So if you haven't seen it,
I just saw it today. Yeah.
So Scott does a great job with those. So I thought he did a really nice job on it.
Yeah.
So okay, well, take care.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a great day.
Ciao, you too. Ciao, Spencer.
Asked you to talk slower, and I think we still were like, and you could tell that
I was trying.
I know.
It's hard. It's just like when. It's like we have this sponsor at work, but she's been there for like 2 months. She's like on site for 2 months, kind of learning everything we do, and she's from Korea. And I had to spend like 2 hours with her the other day in the lab. And oh my lord, because she talks fast, so I totally get it. In English with her Korean accent, and I'm just like in my brain, I'm like, I don't have a freaking clue what she just asked me.
You don't?
So I think it's a hard.
He didn't get some of those questions you asked him.
No, I know. That's why I kind of tried to rephrase them.
You have to remember that when they don't speak English, sometimes when you use these quirky phrases,
A pig is on
you don't
top
learn
of my
that.
house.
They learn formal English.
I know.
Stupid pig.
I did get that the music is about the energy.
Did you get that?
I got that.
He said he was.